The TANNER series, books 13 through 15. TANNER Boxed Set, Book 5. Written by Remington Kane. Narrated by Daniel Dorse. Book 13. Hell for Hire. Chapter 1. Distraction Kills. 3 weeks had passed since Tanner had killed Julian Adams, and in that time he had rested, healed, and trained. When the offer for the next contract arrived, it came suddenly and had Tanner on the move and headed to Florida. Tanner's target was a terrorist named Ayman Mustafa. Several months earlier, Mustafa had been in Detroit, Michigan, where he managed a terror cell which consisted of 5 men. The young men in the cell were all American-born and bred. However, for one reason or another, they had become disenchanted with their country and its leadership. They were willing to go to extremes to change things, and were also ripe to be manipulated. Ayman Mustafa, a Syrian, fed that discontent and gave it focus. It was his role inside the terror organization he belonged to. Mustafa had been given the task of finding those native-born citizens of Western countries who felt disenfranchised and thought of themselves as outsiders. It was Mustafa's job to help unite them into a single group, one that could be used to spread terror and mistrust. It was one thing to learn that the men who shot up your local mall were Arab terrorists, quite another to discover that the bastards behind the slaughter and chaos grew up in your town and possibly your very own neighborhood. Mustafa had been successful with this tactic in Europe and had begun working in the United States. Days before the launch of a major attack on a sports stadium, one of the men in the cell used a hidden phone to call his older brother. He didn't come right out and say what he and his group were planning to do, but had said enough to cause his brother to read between the lines. The brother, a former Army paratrooper and unemployed construction worker, began keeping watch on his brother by following him. The older brother knew that his kid brother held extreme political beliefs and had a chip on his shoulder. When he saw his younger brother and Ayman Mustafa enter an apartment building with 2 other young men, he filmed Mustafa by using his phone. That night, over beers, he showed the video to a friend that was a low-level FBI agent. The FBI man did a search through the database and found that a man named Ayman Mustafa matched the...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?